You are standing still. The floor beneath you hasn't moved. Yet nausea swells, dizziness thickens, sweat breaks out, eyes strain, and the room starts to feel oddly rearranged. This experience has a name: cybersickness. It's the cluster of nausea, dizziness, sweating, eye strain, and disorientation that can start within minutes, even when the user hasn't physically moved. To be clear, this is not a sign of weakness. It's your body trying to make sense of conflicting signals. The headset sends one sense's motion report to your eyes, while the other senses remain silent. Your inner ear disagrees. Your resting body disagrees. But pause here for a moment. You're still. And that's why the discomfort begins before you can put it into words. It feels uncanny, not just unpleasant. The easy explanation? Personal failure, a weak stomach, beginner nerves, a body that needs time to adjust. Now remove the easy answer. It doesn't hold up against the data. The more accurate model is visual vestibular mismatch. This means the eyes report movement, but the balance organs in the inner ear refuse to confirm it. It's a courtroom drama inside your head. Your eyes testify to movement, but the inner ear rejects the claim. The problem isn't that the virtual world is fake. It's that one part of your nervous system receives a signal of motion while your body has made no matching movement. So the verdict can't be toughness. Instead, it's conflicting evidence inside your nervous system. By 1993, dismissing the problem was no longer an option. The Simulator Sickness Questionnaire gave researchers a standard way to rate nausea, disorientation, and eye strain. In other words, the field had to codify the body's complaints before they could truly understand what VR was doing. Without that kind of scale, symptoms are background noise. One person says the room feels unstable. Another complains their eyes hurt. Another feels their stomach folding inward. Without a shared measure, these reports remain scattered complaints, easily brushed off as nerves, fragility, or poor adaptation. Now, the question isn't whether the complaint is real. The questionnaire became the first tool for measuring a symptom once dismissed as noise. It didn't prove every headset causes the same reaction. It did something quieter, but more important. It made the reaction measurable. Nausea was placed alongside disorientation, eye strain alongside bodily discomfort. The body's objection was written down, compared, and brought into every future discussion. That matters, because measurement gives the problem weight. A person standing still is no longer just failing to tolerate a device. Their body is submitting evidence. Their eyes tell one story of motion, their inner ear tells another. And once that conflict can be identified, dismissing it becomes much harder. The 2016 and 2019 reviews didn't broaden the problem. They actually narrowed it down. Time and again, the key drivers pointed to the same core issue. The body stays still, while the eyes keep receiving signals of movement. It's like a navigation system, with one map and one compass, each pointing in a different direction. One instrument signals forward motion, while the other insists there's no displacement. The person inside the headset is caught in the middle, trying to decide which signal to trust, while the body weighs which witness is too risky to acknowledge. Now, the mechanism becomes even more precise. This is where the room itself starts to deceive. One term is optic flow, the visual pattern that tells your eyes you're moving through space, even if your feet haven't budged. Another is vection, essentially the odd bodily conviction that you're in motion because the surrounding world seems to move just so. Latency complicates things further. For context, latency is the slight delay between your movement and the headset's update, a tiny hiccup that makes the visual report arrive late. Changes in field of view affect how much motion evidence floods your eyes at once. And presence research adds another layer. A more convincing virtual environment makes the false sensation of motion feel more believable. The issue isn't that the user is moving incorrectly, but that the body receives conflicting testimony, accelerated, tilted, pushed forward, yet physically still. Standing still doesn't protect the user, because stillness actually sharpens this contradiction. The more convincing the virtual motion, the stronger the body's objection can become. The practical lesson is colder than typical VR culture admits. If sickness came from a weak user, then endurance would be the answer. Stay longer. Push through. Train your stomach to obey. But the tools that really help point the opposite way. Lower latency doesn't test your courage. It means the headset reports your movement sooner, so the eye's feedback isn't delayed or out of sync. A stable horizon isn't just a nice feature, it provides your body with a fixed reference line, one agreement that doesn't keep accusing your inner ear of missing a turn. Teleport-style movement isn't a childish shortcut. It removes the long, conflicting visual claim of being carried forward while your legs and inner ear remain silent. The body avoids a continuous argument it can't resolve. Narrowing the field of view isn't less immersive. It reduces how much moving information bombards your visual field at once. The false signals shrink, giving the body fewer contradictions to reconcile. And this is what most people miss. Greater realism can actually mean greater conflict. The hidden rule isn't about having a stronger stomach, but about receiving clearer, cleaner reports from the senses. Comfort improves not when the user learns to endure discomfort, but when the headset tells a less conflicting story. The system isn't asking for heroism. It's asking for consistency. That's why better immersion can sometimes become a trap. When the virtual world becomes more convincing, the eyes send a stronger signal. But if the inner ear still signals stillness, the contradiction becomes impossible to ignore. It's no longer a faint conflict. It's clear, forceful, and biologically urgent. This flips the usual hardcore VR logic. Comfort doesn't prove toughness, and discomfort doesn't prove fragility. Instead, it reveals a measurement problem inside the body. One sensory system insists motion is happening, while another refuses to confirm it. Return to the first contradiction. The body is standing still. The room hasn't moved, and muscles haven't produced travel. Yet the eyes report motion, asking the body to approve it. The body doesn't approve. The final response is smaller than the sensation itself. The body isn't being dramatic. It's acting as a gatekeeper, refusing to validate a false passport of motion. The sensory report arrives, with speed, depth, direction, and force. But another internal system has no matching record. No turn, no fall, no acceleration, no weight carried. That disagreement alone is enough. Not because the game is too powerful or the user is too weak, but because the body treats impossible motion as a condition that must be contained before the mind can rationalize it. This is the ultimate reversal. Nausea isn't failure inside the headset. It's rejection. It's the body defending reality when the senses conflict, refusing to let a convincing lie pass as genuine movement. Nausea is the verdict.